This is Land of Havilah, Jeremiah 44. When Jeremiah was in Egypt with all the Jewish refugees, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews who lived in the land of Egypt, who lived at Migdol and at Tahpanhes and at Memphis and in the country of Pathros, saying, Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, You have seen all the evil that I've brought on Jerusalem and on all the cities of Judah. Behold, today they are a desolation, and no man dwells in them, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense, to serve other gods that they didn't know, neither they nor you nor your fathers. However, I sent to you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Oh, don't do this abominable thing that I hate. But they didn't listen and didn't incline their ear. They didn't turn from their wickedness to stop burning incense to other gods. Therefore my wrath and my anger was poured out, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as it is today. Comment in verse 1, Yahweh's word came to Jeremiah concerning the Jews who had fled to Egypt, Yahweh still reaching out to them even at this late stage. In verses 2 to 6, Yahweh's message is, You saw how I devastated Jerusalem and all Judah. Today no man dwells there because of their wickedness. They provoked me to anger, serving other gods and burning incense to them. I kept speaking to them through my prophets to correct them, saying, Oh, don't do this abominable thing I hate. But they didn't listen. They kept burning incense to other gods. Therefore I poured out my anger, and today Judah and Jerusalem are a wasteland. Coming up, since they didn't repent in Judah, Yahweh will call on them to repent in Egypt. Verse 7. Therefore now Yahweh, the God of armies, the God of Israel, says, Why do you commit great evil against your own souls, to cut off from yourselves man and woman, infant and nursing child, out of the middle of Judah, to leave yourselves no one remaining, in that you provoke me to anger with the works of your hands, burning incense to other gods in the land of Egypt, where you have gone to live, that you may be cut off, that you may be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humbled even to this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes, that I set before you and before your fathers. Comment in verses 7 to 10, Yahweh continued his appeal to the Jews in Egypt. He said, Why do you continue to commit evil against your own souls? You're cutting off every man, woman, infant, and nursing child. Yahweh used the term cut off frequently in the Old Testament. To cut off means to kill physically, Genesis 9:11, or spiritually, Genesis 17:14. The Jews in Egypt are committing evil and cutting off every man, woman, and child. He goes on, You provoke me to anger, worshiping other gods and burning incense to them. It was the same with your ancestors, your kings, their wives, your wives, everyone. Still today you haven't learned anything from what I did in Judah. You're not humbled. Still you don't fear me or observe the law of Moses. Coming up, Yahweh says what he'll do next, verse 11. Therefore Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, Behold, I'll set my face against you for evil, even to cut off all Judah. I'll take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to live there, and they'll all be consumed. They'll fall in the land of Egypt. They'll be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They'll die, from the least even to the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. They'll be an object of horror, an astonishment, and a curse, and a reproach. For I'll punish those who dwell in the land of Egypt, as I've punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah who have gone into the land of Egypt to live there will escape or be left to return into the land of Judah, to which they have a desire to return there, for no one will return there except those who will escape. Comment in verses 11 to 14, Since you still provoke me with the same evil you committed in Judah, I'm still against you. I'll cut virtually all of you off. You'll fall in Egypt by sword and famine. It'll be a horror and astonishment. After you're gone, your names will be good for nothing except cursing and insulting. I'll punish you as I punished Jerusalem, so that hardly any of you will escape or be left to return to Judah. Nevertheless, in rare cases you might manage to escape. Coming up, the people respond to the prophecy. Verse 15. Then all the men who knew that their wives burned incense to other gods, and all the women who stood by, a great assembly, even all the people who lived in the land of Egypt, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that you've spoken to us in Yahweh's name, we will not listen to you, but we'll certainly perform every word that has gone out of our mouth, to burn incense to the Queen of the Sky, and to pour out drink offerings to her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of food and were well and saw no evil. But since we stopped burning incense to the Queen of the Sky and pouring out drink offerings to her, we have lacked all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. When we burned incense to the Queen of the Sky and poured out drink offerings to her, did we make cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings to her without our husbands? Comment in verse 15, there are a great number of Jews in Egypt. In verses 16 to 19, the response was overwhelmingly to the effect of, we will not listen to you, Jeremiah. We'll keep worshiping the goddess of the sky just like we've been doing for generations. When we worshipped her, we were fine, but when we stopped, all this evil came on us. And the women said, when we baked cakes for the goddess of the sky in Judah and worshipped her, our husbands were fully on board, weren't they? So the general response was that the women shifted blame to their husbands, and the men thought they brought this situation on themselves by failing to worship the Queen of the Sky enough. Coming up, Jeremiah will answer. Verse 20. Then Jeremiah said to all the people, to the men and to the women, even to all the people who had given him an answer, saying, The incense that you burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, you and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, didn't Yahweh remember them, and didn't it come into his mind? Thus Yahweh could no longer bear it because of the evil of your doings and because of the abominations which you've committed. Therefore your land has become a desolation and an astonishment and a curse and without inhabitant as it is today, because you have burned incense and because you have sinned against Yahweh and have not obeyed Yahweh's voice, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil has happened to you as it is today. Comment, when the people told Jeremiah they wouldn't listen but would faithfully serve the Queen of the Sky because all their problems stem from not serving her enough, Jeremiah answered in verses 20 to 23. He said, You have it all wrong. Yahweh saw you burning incense to other gods and bore it as long as he could. Finally, he destroyed the land over it. You failed Yahweh in all your evil abominations, sin, refusal to keep the law, and refusal to listen. That is why Judah lies desolate today. He goes on, verse 24. Moreover, Jeremiah said to all the people, including all the women, Hear Yahweh's word, all Judah who are in the land of Egypt. Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, You and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, and with your hands have fulfilled it, saying, We will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of the Sky, and to pour out drink offerings to her. Establish then your vows, and perform your vows. Comment in verses 24 to 25, Jeremiah said to all the people, You say you'll surely perform your vows to the Queen of the Sky and burn incense and pour out drink offerings to her. Go ahead then. But coming up, know this from Yahweh. Verse 26. Therefore hear Yahweh's word, all Judah who dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, says Yahweh, that my name will no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, As the Lord Yahweh lives. Behold, I watch over them for evil and not for good, and all the men of Judah who are in the land of Egypt will be consumed by the sword and by the famine until they're all gone. Those who escape the sword will return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah, few in number. All the remnant of Judah who have gone into the land of Egypt to live there will know whose word will stand, mine or theirs. This will be the sign to you, says Yahweh, that I'll punish you in this place, that you may know that my words will surely stand against you for evil. Yahweh says, Behold, I'll give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of those who seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, who was his enemy and sought his life. Comment in verse 26, Yahweh says to the Jews in Egypt, I swear by my great name that you'll never again swear by my great name. I'll consume you by sword and famine so that you won't be able to take my name in your mouth. Those who escape to Judah will be few. You'll find out whether your word or mine will stand. Your coming destruction will be the sign. When you see it, know that my word has been established and not yours. I'll give Pharaoh over to his enemies, just as I gave Zedekiah over to his enemies, and you'll be overrun here in Egypt as you were overrun in Judah. Jeremiah 45 is next.